The triumph and apotheosis of Aeneas. Macarius had finished. Then Aeneas's nurse was buried in a marble sepulchre, and on it this brief epitaph engraved: "Hear me, Caita, saved from Grecian fire, my loyal charge burnt on a fitting pyre. They loosed their moorings from the grassy strand, and leaving far behind that treacherous isle, the ill-famed goddess's home, held course towards the groves where Tiber, in deep dappled shade, sweeps to the ocean with his golden sand. And there Aeneas won Latinus' throne and daughter too, but not without a war. War with a fierce race followed. Turnus fought in fury for his promised bride, and all Etruria was locked with Latium, strife long and anxious, victory hard won. Both sides increased their strength by foreign aid, and many reinforced the Rutuli, many the Trojan camp, and not in vain Aeneas visited Evander's walls, though vain the embassy of Venulus to exile Diomede. In Daunus' realm, Apulia, Diomede had built a great city, and with his marriage won domains. But when, as Turnus charged him, Venulus requested aid, Aetolian Diomede made his excuse. He'd not commit to war the countrymen of Daunus, nor had he men of his own to arm. Unless you think this false, although the memory renews my bitter tragic grief, I'll bring myself to tell the tale. When lofty Ilium was burnt, and Pergamum had fed the flame of Greece, and Ajax for a virgin's rape brought from the virgin on us all the lash that he alone deserved, we were dispersed. Raped by the winds across the hostile main, we Greeks endured storms, lightning, darkness, wrath of sky and sea, in crowning tragedy, the cliffs of Caphereus. Not to prolong the whole tale of our troubles, at that time Greece could have moved Priam himself to tears. But me Minerva, warrior goddess, saved and rescued from the waves. But then again Argos, my homeland, drove me out, her price now claimed by fostering Venus, who recalled that wound of long ago. Such tragic toils I endured on ocean's waves, such toils in war on land, that often I counted fortunate those whom shared storms, and ruthless Caphereus had drowned, and wished that I were one of them. My comrades' sufferings had been extreme in war and on the sea. With failing hearts they pleaded for an end to wandering. But Acmon, hot by nature, chafing too at our disasters, cried, "What's left, you men, that your endurance will refuse to bear? What else, what more can Venus do, suppose she means to? While we fear things worse, there's room for wounds, but when the worst has happened, fear is underfoot, the sum of suffering finds us serene. Though she herself should hear and hate, as she does hate, all those who serve with Diomede, yet all of us despise her hate. Her mighty power means naught to us." So Acmon taunted Venus, goading her, and rousing up afresh her former rage. His words pleased few, the greater part of us, his friends, reproved him. Trying to reply, his voice, his throat grew thin, his hair became feathers, and feathers clothed his new-formed neck and breast and back, and larger plumage spread over his arms. His elbows made a curve of buoyant wings, webbed feet replaced his toes, hard horn his mouth, it finished in a beak. Lycus and Idas, Nicotius and Rhexenor stared open-mouthed, and Abas too, and while they stood and stared they took the self-same shape. Most of the crew flew up, and flying round, circled the rowers on their flapping wings. Should you inquire their shape, those sudden birds, swans they were not, but Lycus' snowy swans. I, Daunus' son-in-law, can hardly hold his arid acres, this domain of mine, with but a handful of my countrymen. So answered Diomede, and Venulus departed from the prince of Calydon, the bays and pastures of Apulia. There he had seen a grotto deep in shade of forest trees, hidden by slender reeds, the home of half-goat Pan, though once the nymphs lived there. A local shepherd frightened them. They fled away at first in sudden fear, but soon recovering, disdained the lout who had pursued them, and began again the nimble measure of their country dance. The shepherd mocked them, mimicking the dance with loutish leaps and shouts of coarse abuse and rustic insults. Nothing silenced him till wood and swathed his throat. For he's a tree, and from its juice you judge its character. The oleaster's bitter berries bear the taint of that tart tongue. They keep today the sourness of the things he used to say.